All my volume's up.
Can you hear me?
Uh,
Can you hear me now?
I sure can.
Sweet.
Can you see me now?
I can.
Let's see if I can rotate this thing because I'm driving. I was trying to go to a patio where I could watch a sunset and do a Zoom conference call like I'm some sort of high roller.
Failed?
And turns out it's a fail because their damn deck's closed.
Oh.
I was like, you sons of bitches. Now I have to just park in a damn Walmart parking lot and look like a creeper on a phone.
Hey, there could be worse things.
That could be.
That's awesome.
How'd your day go?
Who are you asking?
Brady! Shit! There he is.
I do, bud.
Seen that guy in so long, I forgot what he looked like.
He's still good looking.
I was going to say, I'm still ugly.
No.
That was pretty as always. Oh, well.
I did just get my hair did.
I like that. Mine's looked like that for about 20 years now. I was ahead of my time.
See, I don't know. I think mine's just going to start creeping here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to lose any.
My dad's is creeping, and mine's slowly starting to. I think I'll be
How
all
old are
right.
you now?
31.
Yeah, I was 27 when mine started thinning out pretty good. So you look pretty good. I think you'll be all right.
I say, I'm lucky. My hair's thick. I got a lot of it.
Yeah. How are things?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. We're getting there, slowly but surely.
Good.
It's been a freaking grind, but
Tell me where you're at now.
up in
Boise?
east side of Seattle.
Okay. Coronavirus country.
Yes, absolutely. Smack dab. My first patient this
Have
morning,
you had anybody cancel because of it?
my first patient this morning texted me last night and was like, I was in contact with somebody who was in contact with somebody who had the virus.
Yeah.
You're like secondary contact. He's like,
Right.
let you know, like if you wanted to, if you want me to like reschedule or whatever. And I was like, he called the King County health department, and they were like, send your kids to school, just normal stuff. And I was like, well, I mean, shit, man. At this point, it's like, what's it matter? Like, I'm not going to live my life in fear. This is anything different from anything else. Like, we've been living in this winter has been a fuck fest of illness in my household. So I got 2 Petri dishes that are just snotting everything and so.
I'm not the least bit worried about it. I had a cousin post something on Facebook the other night, and I was like, on an average year, we lose 56,000 Americans to the flu, everyday flu. And I said, now we got this coronavirus, and I said it's a little hard to get numbers, exact numbers, but it looks like about 3,600 to 4,000 maybe worldwide. And what is a little easier to get is the fatality rate looks like it's about 4%. Yeah. So that means if we just gave it to everybody in the world today, in about 2 weeks, we'd all still be here. 96% of us would still be here. And our immune systems would all be better off for it. Right. So I don't know, man. I think the fact that it's spreading quickly is a blessing. Yeah. Maybe we can just get this everywhere it needs to be. Everybody can get it and get over it and be done with it.
According to the CDA, that guy talked with the CDA and CDC, and they're like, we're so far beyond like containment right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's running loose everywhere. It showed up here last week, and so it's pretty much landing everywhere, and somehow it's managing to weasel its way around, however that is. I heard a deal on NPR a couple days ago where they were saying that we have asymptomatic carriers. So they have some folks that are just no symptoms, but they're carrying it. Yep. And that's one of their big concerns. And I'm like, man, it's called evolution.
Right.
Right.
I'm sitting here going like for having a conversation with people, I'm like, I just don't like most of my patients that have come in are like laughing about it. You know, they're just like all these idiots that went out and bought all the toilet paper and all this kind of shit. And, I was like, I don't think that most people understand how this stuff works at all.
No. Yeah, we don't.
You know, when they're like, oh, well, there's no cure for this. It's like, yeah, there's no cure for, I mean, antibodies are your cure for the flu.
Yeah. Your cure is your immune system.
Right? Like, I mean, guys, this isn't that complicated, but, you know, but they don't get it. It's just,
This is what we totally need to do is put out a YouTube video that says we found the cure for coronavirus. And it's your immune system. Let me tell you how it works.
right.
Yeah.
Man, it's a headache, but so far I haven't had any issue with it. People are, it's a point of conversation. That's about it. I mean,
yeah.
I had people at the gym. There's a couple of firefighters at this gym that are that are dealing with an active case over in Kirkland. But it's whatever.
Yeah, well, it's definitely taken over everything. That's for damn sure. So. What, didn't we have some talking points for this thing? Like, what are we supposed to get onto?
Yeah.
I said something about what do you do for
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live?
Yeah. I don't do Facebook Live. I hate Facebook Live. I hate anything live.
Right?
The only thing I've done, I think I did the last core class. I think I streamed it while it was up. And then after I streamed it, I didn't post it. Basically, just like if somebody was able to watch it at the time, great. And if they weren't, come to my next class.
Right. So I haven't done them. No Facebook Live stuff. Well, I haven't done them for my practice anyway. So what's the point? Like, what's the structure? What do they do? If they do a Facebook Live, are they just doing it to say, hey, we're just checking in, here we are doing stuff, you know, type of mind awareness thing? Or
the best case I've seen, and the guy that I would, if anybody wants to do them, should look at is Dan Murray.
Okay.
That guy does so many videos, and so what he's doing is he gets on for 2 to 5 minutes and says something, just some sort of topic. He always has something that he wants to talk about.
Coronavirus.
Sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go buy your toilet paper 2 weeks ago because you're out everywhere.
Right.
And
I still have a roll, so that'll last me 2 months.
Oh, dude, you're lucky. I just ran through one, and I was like, hey, we need to go get toilet paper. And Jenica said she tried. And they're all out.
Buying our
But, yeah, so, I mean, he does the video, and then so you can save the recording afterwards, and then he posts it to his Facebook page and to his YouTube page. So then it's like a twofer. And I know a long time ago when I was talking to him, he would just do regular YouTube videos, but he would record them, and then he would type it out. He just do basically a script of what he said, and then he would make a blog post about that too. So he was using his videos to hit several different I guess methodologies for SEO.
Sure.
Put it on your website, and you're just boosting everything. So I think the fear most people have is they don't know what to do them over.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people are getting tripped up on, and they're trying to make it something that it needs to be perfect. And if you look at anybody that has done any kind of YouTube, anything, they say done is better than perfect. Yep. So just do one, get it done, and as you do them more and more, you will get better and better at it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of my methodology with it, is we just need to bite the bullet and do it. And that one that I did on this group page was the first one I've done pretty much ever. I've done one other one and it was stupid, and that was on my personal one forever ago. Yep. So I think just do them. I mean, because Facebook still puts those up and gets them in front of people. So if we just keep doing them, then you'll eventually get up. What?
Gotcha.
Don't Facebook Live like take priority over like everything?
Yeah,
pretty much everything.
That's why we still could be utilizing them. And like I said, if you don't know what to do, go look at Dan Murray's page. That guy's got hundreds of YouTube videos, and I've talked to him, and he said he doesn't care. Like he told me I could do the exact same video, and he doesn't care.
That's fair.
So
Okay.
find something. And I will say one of the other things that people get scared about, and I'm one of them, is you don't know what to say. Like you have an idea, you have a script, but then once you start it, you're like, they have I need to look into it a little bit more, but they do have apps that you can get that basically turn your phone into a teleprompter. Yeah, and then you can just read it. I don't know how that works with Facebook, because in order to do a Facebook Live, you have to have Facebook up. So I'm thinking that there's got to be a way that we can come up with something that allows it to be able to do. You have the script in front of you, you can just read it.
There's a demon.
And
Yeah.
that's my cat.
I was gonna say that's a pretty gnarly looking ponytail you got wiggling along behind there, man.
Yeah, man, I finally got to go dark.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then one of the things I've been doing, so I'm trying to record at the very minimum at least 1 to 2 videos a week and get them posted, but I'm actually editing them and putting in some sort of graphics and stuff. I will say with the PC, it's a lot harder when you don't have iMovie. It's really tough. So I'm having to do everything with it. But what I've been doing with those is I make a PowerPoint presentation of what I want to say, just a general blank PowerPoint presentation. And then I put my phone on a tripod behind my Surface. So it looks like I'm looking at the camera, but all I'm doing is reading my script and I'm flipping through the PowerPoint. So then it still looks like you're doing a live, but you're reading it. So if we can't find an app that will do a teleprompter, try and figure out something like that. You can get things that will mount your phone to your computer that will make it look like you're looking at your phone, but in reality, you're just looking at what you're writing.
Right. Okay. All right. Down with that idea.
No, Brady?
I hate it. I don't know what it is. I just hate it.
I'm right there with you, man. Like, so I
don't think anybody likes it.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think anybody really likes it.
So when
but the people who can fake it the best are the ones that win.
Yeah. And you get more and more confident as you do them. So like that one that I just did on the TikTok thing, I had that up for about 6 hours before I actually did it. And finally I was just like, you know what, let's just get this over with. And I did it. And that's another thing is we can practice on that Facebook page. Everybody should be able to go live on it. So practice it there, see what it looks like. If you don't like it, you can tweak it. People can give you feedback on it. So we need to be able to utilize each other in order to get that stuff going.
Okay.
What kind of content are you doing? Like what are you looking to do as far as like Facebook Live?
So I mean, like right now, you could just do one like you said on the coronavirus. Write out a 2 to 3. It needs to be relevant to, I feel like, the time. So do one on the coronavirus. Like, a lot of people are worried about this. If you look at the CDC and what they're saying, we need to not worry. Like it's going to pass over. The actual fatality rate on it is so low compared to so many other things we've been facing. But you could do that. And like I said, go look at Dan Murray's page. He does just some ridiculous videos. He's done one on vaccines, which I'm probably going to stay away from personally, but just anything. I mean, you can do it on, one of the things that I've been kind of wanting to do one on is maintenance care, like why chiropractors suggest maintenance care. So you can do a 2 to 5 minute video on how that's beneficial to patients. Just get a little, like, I don't know, put maybe a computer screen or something behind you, flip through some stuff and call it done. Get your first one done. And then as you go through your day, I haven't been doing it, but I keep a notepad of ideas. If they pop into my head, put it in your phone. You have an idea right there. And they shouldn't be long. I mean, we don't want them to be very long because people will not watch all of it if it's long.
Yeah, a minute or two is kind of premium. Just do that and call it a day.
So definitely under 5 minutes would be my suggestion. I don't know where everybody else is at. 6 people said they were going to be on this.
Well, it's just the old crew.
Right?
Oh, we're 6 divided by 2, so that ain't bad.
I mean, for our crew, this is like one of the originals right here.
All right.
Get rid of the
right.
Lexus.
Say again?
That's a Lexus too.
This is the SUV. I still got the car.
Oh, you still got it?
Yeah, I may get rid of it this summer. I'm got half a mind to buy a Jeep this year, so I don't know. I'm just hard to choke on that much. It's hard to choke on that much damn money, man. That's a lot. They want $70,000 for a freaking Jeep.
You looking?
And I'm just like blown away. But
4-door Wrangler?
No. This is like the Rubicon, and it's this is straight from the dealer. It's already got 35-inch tires and lift kit and stuff on it. You know, so it's got a few little trimmings on it, covered under dealer warranty. But I'm like, man, it's like $72,000.
You could put half of that into the Lexus that you're driving currently, and it would do everything that Jeep will do.
Well, this thing will already do everything that Jeep will do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need anything more than what you have.
No, I've hauled this thing over Mosquito Pass a few times already, so I'm not too worried about it doing what it, doing off-road stuff. It'll do it.
Nice.
And
it looks pretty. I like the white with the lifted.
Yeah, I like the lift kit on it. It's a little bit different from what most people rolling around in a Lexus looks like, so that's kind of cool. So, I guess the only thing that I've done differently, lately, that seems to be working really well for me is I've gone back to the model that I had when I was married to the chiropractor before, of teaching and quote unquote selling lifetime care. I had 3 patients sign up in the last week, and all 3 of them signed up for year-long care plans. That it's perfect for me, man. I love it. I'm like, I think it's good for them, good for me, good for everybody. And I feel really comfortable in my soul about doing it. And then the way that I present it, this is a kind of a departure from Pinnacle. Maybe, I don't know what Glowacki does here, but I started, when I did the report of findings, just started telling the patient, I'm like, hey, I need to know, I'm going to ask you, I got three basic questions for you that I need to know how I can best serve you. And if you'll tell me, openly and honestly what you want, then I can tell you the best way to move forward with this. And I just tell them, I'm like, hey, do you want me, I go through the whole thing of, here's your issues. You're grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, you're 12, 18, 24, 30 plus visits, whatever the hell I'm going to tell them. And then, here's my optimum recommendation for you for stabilization is this. However, what I need to know from you is, do you want me to just put a Band-Aid on this thing? Just want the pain to go away and you're good and you call me when you need me? Do you want to go through a stabilization kind of care plan and let's try to get this as stable as possible so you'll have the fewest problems as possible going forward, and maybe call me when you need me, might be another year or 2, I don't know. Or are you interested in maintenance care? So what I mean by that is, when we get to the end of this, are you interested in getting a regular checkup and adjustment every couple of weeks or so to maintain the work and the effort that you put in on the front end? So, because it's like, kind of like taking the braces off your teeth. A dentist is going to tell you, you need to wear this retainer, and if you don't do that, you can reasonably expect those teeth are probably going to move back where they came from. So I just need to know how best to serve you. You tell me what you want to do, and I'll show you what the options look like, or I'll show you all 3 and you can make up your mind from there. And that's pretty much how I close it out. So it takes more time than the Pinnacle ROF. But as I go through that, they fall on both ends of the spectrum. I had one today that said, listen, I totally want to do this, and if it was last year, I would just go for this year plan and run with it. But she said, tonight I have to give a speech at my school to try and save my job because they want to close our school and they're going to cut all of our jobs. And she's like, I have no idea, literally tonight, I have no idea what's going to happen, if I have a job tomorrow or not. And I was like, okay, well, I get it. So these other 2, like the corrective plan or a wellness plan, that's probably not a good option for you. I said, so the next thing I can do for you is we'll just do this by the visit. And it costs X amount of dollars, but if you're going to come in here and just pay for this by the visit, I'll cover this much of it myself, which is about the equivalent of what a really good insurance policy would do for you. And just pay for them whenever you come in. Schedule it as you feel like you can come in. The more the merrier. The faster you get in here, the better. And she was like, okay, cool. And she scheduled Wednesday.
Yeah.
She paid $65 for today. She scheduled for Wednesday. And I guess after her speech tonight, maybe she'll have a little better handle on what's going on. And so, in that case, if they'll be honest with you, and most of them will, if they'll be honest and clear with you up front, can you see me better, maybe?
Yeah.
Be honest and clear with you up front about what their needs are. Hey, man, I just really don't have the money. Okay,
Yeah.
well, an adjustment every once in a while is better for you than nothing at all. So they're $135 a visit. I'm going to cover this stuff for you here. It'll be a $65 charge to you. I'll write this other stuff off.
Yep.
Just, my recommendation is I see you as often as I can to try and break the symptom cycle and make you feel better. Talk to Jaden up front. Let him know, when's the next best time you can get in. But the flip side of that is when I go to the corrective plan and I'm like, hey, it's X amount of dollars. Brady, I don't know if you know my whole situation, but I'm basically out of network with everybody, pretty much run a cash practice. I mean, I'm in network with Medicare. That's it. And pretty much cash. Last year, 6% of my revenues came from major medical insurance. 94% came out of patients' pockets. So it's all cash. So when I get to, hey, here's your corrective plan, and it's going to be $520 a month. You want to spread that out over 3 months, which is about how long it's going to take to get done. Or if you're interested at all in, the regular checkup and adjustment after that, wear your retainer, I'll be happy to show you what that looks like. It does make it a little bit easier to swallow on a month-to-month basis if you want to look at that. And then most of them are like, sure, I want to look, right? So you show them that, and I'm like, so this is 44 visits over the next 12 months. We're going to start off with 24 up front. That's going to be the first 3 months. It's exactly what I just showed you over here. That's $520 a month. And we're going to do exactly that. And then when we get to the end of that, we're going to do a visit every other week for the rest of the year. And if we do the math on this one, this works out to X amount of dollars. I give them 6% off if you want to prepay it. And I do 6 because I want them to, I tell them, I'm like, I've cut this to the bone already. I really don't have a whole lot of room to discount it any further. So I'll give you 6% if you want to prepay it. And if it means that much to you, you can do that. Or if you want to do it monthly, instead of $520, it's going to be $238. And then most of them are like, oh, well, yeah, sure, let's try that. And of course, the plan just says, I'm not going to charge you for, you can quit anytime you want. I'm not going to charge you for anything you haven't been in for. I'm only going to charge you for the visits that you've been in for. But, hell, if they come 3 months, they're going to be paying that $238 for a while, 6 months, 7 months, just to pay off that 3-month thing that they got. So your cash flow kind of levels off. It takes a year probably to get it to level off. But once it does, it's really stable. And when I get to the end of that first year and I say, hey, Nick, you and your wife enjoyed what you've been doing so far. Yeah, man, we love it. Well, I got some good news. If you want to go on to next year, instead of $238, it's going to be $170. So it's actually going to go down and you can keep doing exactly what you've been doing. Oh, sweet. Let's do that. Now, Brady, I calculate the first family member, their full price, quote unquote. I charge $135 a visit, but I give away the traction and the acupuncture stuff and the re-exams. And then my adjustment fee is $65. Doesn't matter if it's a 4.0, 4.1, 4.2, it's $65. And so I give them those things, and then my standard visit is $65, and that's what I call quote unquote full price. And so I figure out the first year treatment plan based on $65. If you want to bring your wife, she's half price of that. And then it's half price if you prepay, minus 6% if you prepay, and then it's half price or one full, one half. Put them together, divide by 12. That's the monthly fee for husband-wife team. Now, I'll also do kids at 25% of that number. So then the third, fourth, and fifth are 25% numbers. But I don't really have a whole lot of people that do that. So, but that if they ask, that's what I do. And I'm finding that they're going to either end of the spectrum. Either I really can't afford to do that, but I'll come see you when I can, which is also a step up because I've been doing hey, this is your 24 visit treatment plan. This is what you really need to do. You know, if you don't intend to finish, I'd rather you not start, all of that shit. And, you know, they're gone and don't come back. And instead of that, now I'm like, hey, we can do it this way, we can do it this way, or we can do it this way. And if I've done my job well, they're going to want to do corrective or wellness. I had a patient today that came in and prepaid her corrective plan. And she told me, she was like, I'm leaning towards wellness. She goes, I really would like to do this year-long thing, but my husband and I are renovating this house right now, and we're dumping money left and right. And he just didn't want me to spend any more than I had to. So he wants me to do the 3 months and see how I feel. And if I feel great and want to continue, I can continue then. And I'm like, that's fair enough. Let's do that. And so she prepaid her thing. That's the first one actually that I've had that didn't either go by the visit or do the year. Everybody else has gone one extreme or the other. And so I like it. I think I'm going to continue it. I know it feels better for me. It feels better for me to just acknowledge the patient that, hey man, I just want to come see you when I feel like it. Great. It's $65. Call me when you need me. I'm here whenever you're ready, man. You know, and take some of these cards and hand them out to other people. You can save them a couple $100 off their initial exam. Yeah, sure. I'll share it with my friends. And then there's the people that get on the bus with you and they're like, hell yeah, let's just do this year-long thing. Now, I can tell you from before that I had we were in network with insurance, so the numbers were even lower. I mean, like a year-long plan might have been $90 a month. So they were lower because we were in network. But I can tell you that we had about an 80% close rate on the first year. And then we'd lose about half of those on year 2. So what happens then is they get to the end of it and they're like, I've been feeling awesome this whole year, and I just don't know that I need to come in every other week. That's basically where they're at. And so you need to make that transition of, if you like what you're doing and you want to keep doing it, you can do this every other week, and the numbers go down from 2.5 to 100.5, and you keep doing exactly what you've been doing. Or if you feel like, you know, that you're doing great and maybe you don't need to come every other week, maybe you want to come once a month or something like that, it'll just be $65 a visit. Let's just pay it by the visit. We'll keep a card on file and run with that. Call me when you need me. And just be easy. You gotta be easy. That's the big thing. It's just easy to let them do kind of what they want. Make your sales pitch. If you do a good job, they jump on your boat. If you don't, you know, or maybe they're just not meant to be, and they'll tell you, yeah, I'll call you when I need you. And if you don't try to cornhole them into a box somewhere, then they're more likely to just say, yeah, I'm gonna call that guy. I had a dude today. Hadn't seen him in over 2 months for sure. And he was doing a 24 visit thing, and he got to like visit 20, and he just kind of dropped off the picture. And we sent a 2-week recall. It's like, hey man, hadn't seen you in a couple weeks, just checking on you. And he didn't respond to that. And so my front desk was asking about, you know, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, don't do anything. Just, it's all good. I'm like, don't charge his card anymore, because he was paid up. So I'm like, don't charge his card anymore. And we'll just wait to hear from him. And he sure as hell showed up today. Actually, he texted yesterday, Sunday, and said he wanted to come by this afternoon. And he came in today, and he was like, yeah, man, my back's bothering me a little bit. Just thought I'd come by and get checked out. And I'm like, sweet. And what was infinitely hard to see 3 years ago and is easier to see now is that if you'll do that, if you'll be easy and allow them to do what they want, you'll find that you kind of get a lot of business off of that. Like I get, you know, probably 10 walk-ins a day. And that's just people that I hadn't seen in a while, and they just pop in and like, hey man, I'm like, hey, sweet, what are you doing? Like, my back's bothering me. And but when you try to force them to do something, that doesn't happen. They don't come back. They're just like, that guy tried to force me to do something. I'm not coming back.
See, I probably
say again?
I probably get about 6 to 10 in a week, like walk-ins or texts. Like, hey, can I drop in?
Yep.
Just from that same sort of thing of, you know, you taking them through a care plan or gotten them out of their, you know, pain phase, whatever that is. They didn't want to necessarily fully commit to a maintenance plan.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit here and be like, look, I'm not going to heckle them on it. I'm not going to tell them they're wrong or anything. Like, this is what I would recommend. I think it would be good for you to probably come in, you know, whether it's every other week or I tell people, I got people that come in every other week. I've got somebody who comes in once a week. I've got people that come in once a month or once every other month. Like it's a maintenance point. It's kind of based upon what your body's telling you need. And we go with that. But I think it's like what you said at the beginning of all this thing, just kind of setting that ground level of like, for me to understand what the patient wants instead of like, that's the hard part is, the hard part for me is, I know what I want for the patient. I want them to I want them to mechanically move flawlessly, which I realize isn't necessarily realistic, but like, I want them to move well and be out of pain and be able to do the things that they want to do in their daily life without ever experiencing this stuff again. That's not completely realistic. I know that, but ultimately that's kind of what my goal is, and how I get there is a certain way, but that doesn't mean that the patient is on board with that. I guess that's kind of a good point of at the very beginning of all this, kind of getting a good mindset of where that patient is and what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's a straight up Glowacki move right there. It's like you can't force somebody to do something, so you're better off to be persuasive in your pitch. And he even does the thing, hey, Brady, is it okay if I just give you can I have your permission to just give you my very best recommendations? And the patients always say, yeah. And I say, okay, I'm going to tell you what I think is optimum for you. And then I'm going to show you 2 or 3 different ways that you can do this based on what you want. And then they'll go, oh, sure. And I say, now here's what I see. You got this, that, and the other thing. I want you to do whatever your recommendations are. I'm going to have you do this, this, and this. Every visit is going to look like this. We're going to do this, 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 and this. And then, we'll reevaluate in every month or whatever. That's my optimum recommendation from you. Now, what I need out of you is I need just your honest opinion of what do you want to do? Do you want me to just put a Band-Aid on this thing? You feel better and you can go back to work tomorrow and do your job and sit at your desk, and you just call me when you need me, man. Anytime you need me, I'll be happy to put another Band-Aid on it. We'll make you feel better. No drugs, no surgery. It's awesome. And, or, do you want to go through a corrective plan where I'm going to make you as stable as possible? I'm going to get your movement as good as I can get it. And that's going to hold and last as long as it possibly can. And then the third thing is what most of my patients do and what I'm trying to build is a wellness-based practice. And that's people that understand and value chiropractic care for what it is. And that means it's a regular maintenance checkup and adjustment. I can get you moving great, but if I just stop there and you don't wear that retainer, like when you take the braces off, and I use that a lot, everybody gets that.
Yeah.
As soon as you just say, man, it's, when we get the end of this deal, it's kind of like taking the braces off your teeth. It doesn't cost as much. It doesn't take as long, but that dentist's going to tell you, you need to put this retainer in your mouth. If you don't do that, you can reasonably expect those teeth are going to go back where they came from. I don't know how fast, but they're going to move back. And everybody's like, oh yeah. I'm like, spines are the same way. And so I always recommend regular care. And so that's what I'm trying to build here is people that understand that. And if you understand that, and if you want to be a part of that, what I give back to you is the biggest, deepest discount I give to anybody. And then they go, show me what that looks like. I'm like, here's what it looks like. And they go, yeah, let's do that. It's kind of a no-brainer, and it's a big burden off my shoulders here in the last couple of months. Is I just flipped the switch and I'm like, the hell with this other shit. I'm just not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it a way that felt good to me before and it feels good to me now. And so I'm just doing that. And that's another thing too, is if it feels good to you, you come across better talking to the patient. You're not trying to sell them something you don't believe in, or you're trying to make them do something just to get the money.
Right.
You're just telling them, hey, this is what I think is best for you. I totally get it. If you just want to call me when you need me, we can do that. Because any adjustment's better than nothing at all. It's better than drugs and surgery. I can help you feel better and function better. And guess what? If that guy comes back to you enough times, eventually he's going to say, well, he's going to hurt himself really bad and go, damn. And you say, yeah, man, it's kind of like back on the first day when we talked. And I said, I need to see you like 20 to 25 times probably. Let's evaluate this and see. I'll tell you what a treatment plan looks like to get this stable. And I have a few of those. That was another big change I made last year. Was those patients when they come back in, man, they come back after a while, and let's say they did a full treatment plan the first time. And they leave, and you're like, damn it. and then they're gone for 8 months, a year, and then they come back, and they're like, now the fact that they came back is awesome. The fact that they came back is awesome. So they came back to you and they said, hey man, I jacked up my back again. And I know what you're thinking. You need to totally say, hey, let me get a physical exam sheet here. Let's come back, let's do some orthopedic tests, check the stuff out, maybe shoot a film. Used to be your back, now it's your neck. Boom, boom, shoot the stuff. I'll see you tomorrow, do a relief treatment. Come back tomorrow, take a look at it. Good news, bad news. You need 20 visits. We're going to stabilize this thing. That's what it's going to take. And I have had last year, I just started doing that again. I started taking reactivations as serious as the initial activation and saying, hey, man, here's what's going on with you. And here's what we need to do. And they're like, I kind of figured as much. And I'm like, yep, let's get started. It's just like before. You can do by the visit, you can do it monthly. And now we've added this wellness plan. So if you just want to do regular checkups and adjustment, I give you the super deep discount. Here's what it looks like. And then, I haven't had that happen yet because I haven't had a reactivation that I've shown that to, but I can only imagine the upscale rate on that should be pretty good if they came back to me to begin with. And then I can say, look, I know it's been 6-8 months since I saw you before, but these things tend to happen. Oh, another thing that comes with the wellness plan is the 44 visit treatment plan over the course of the year. And in the event that, Brady, you're out shoveling your driveway and you hurt your back and I need to see you 5 times this week, I don't charge you anything more for it. You just pay whatever your regular monthly payment is, and that's it. And they go, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm like, the only caveat to that, you get in a car wreck or something, we're going to suspend your wellness plan. I'll file with your automotive insurance until that's done, and then we can go back and reactivate your wellness plan. You get your regular checkup and adjustment. Sweet, that's cool. And so that's another thing. When I talk about deep discounts, I'm going to give you as much as I give to anybody. Is if you do this, you commit to me that you're a wellness chiropractic patient, I commit back to you the best prices I'm going to give anybody. And again, if you need more care, which happens, I'm going to do that at no additional price. And then they're like, well, it's kind of a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. And then I had a husband-wife team signed up today. They came in 2 days. So their ROF was 2 days ago. They have had 2 visits since then. They paid by the visit for those 2 visits and still saying, oh, we want to kind of think about this and figure this out. And I'm like, that's fine, man. Just whatever, whatever money you've already paid will apply to the first monthly payment. If you decide that you want to switch over to that, or you can pay it by the visit. They pay $130 a visit right now. They've done 3 visits. They've already paid their first month, but they're just not doing it yet. Well, until today. And they come in, and then Jaden was like, hey, he's like, you've already you're right about made your first monthly payment. And then they were like, yeah, let's just do it that way. Cause it was $380 or $390 or something like that a month for 12 months. And so, but I'm seeing them every day right now. And so they're like, yeah, this is kind of a no brainer. Let's do it like that. And plus the wife gets a 50% discount instead of paying full pot. Yeah. And so I don't know, that's the way I'm going to drive. And that, when I do those, I average out at $58 a visit, even with the second family member at half price. And so I'm like, yeah, I can live with that.
Nick, you're going cash too?
Yeah. I'm getting out of network with everybody. I don't know that you can.
Me?
Yeah, I mean, with everything that you do, it's with the additional PT and everything that you're doing.
I mean, the insurance here is just the world of insurance here is different than you guys. Like,
right.
I don't have a cap. I have basically, it's called a la carte. It's like a la carte. Whatever I bill for, I get reimbursed for. And I mean, yeah, I've got my in-network, rates, but shit, like a normal daily visit, I can bill out, a 9 at 941, maybe a extremity plus some soft tissue work or rehab, and an adjustments, say $35 that I get reimbursed for. Some of them are more. Extremities are cheap; they're like 12 to 15.
Yeah, I'm losing.
We're losing you there, Brady.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I've really come to grasp over the last at least month, is that everybody's going to be different. Your style of chiropractic is going to be different. Even if you're in a management group, you're going to have different ideas on what you want to do and how you want to run your office. And even based on where you're at geographically, whatever, I'm not a scientist.
Geologically.
Geologically, this guy had it right there. And so I think it needs to be different. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with what you're doing. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to start this group is I don't want it to be like
judgmental.
I don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, you're this style of management group. You have to be doing it this way. Otherwise you're doing it wrong. I want this to be where everybody can bounce ideas off, where we can help each other grow and see more.
Yeah, I think I totally love what you just said right there. And then the thing that I would add to that is whatever you do, you need to figure out how to most efficiently package, sell, and deliver that to the patient.
Right.
Because you got to make money to stay alive.
That's right.
So
the hard part for me is figuring out how to like package that together that everybody understand. Like I feel like I do a pretty decent job of explaining what I do and why I do it. And that I do things differently than most chiropractors in this area. But I don't know that I do a very good job of like really putting that together and letting people understand. I have a hard time marketing it too. I don't know how to market myself because I do more than just a chiropractor. I do a lot of PT stuff alongside of what I do that I can bill for. And the way that I do it, I can bill for it. I have, 20-minute time slots. I technically have 30-minute time slots that I take with my patients right now that I'm like, and so that's where I'm like, I hear, going cash and Nick's going cash. And I'm like, it would take so much stress off of me. I feel like I wouldn't feel as stressed, just insurance world. But at the same time, like the first question everybody asks me up here is, do you take insurance?
See, and with what you do,
I don't. At Microsoft, we got T-Mobile, we've got all these conglomerates, and they have bomb insurance. Google.
I think with what you do, you don't go cash, man. Because if you go cash, I feel like with a cash practice, you have to have high volume.
Yeah.
And the way that you're doing your office, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't. So I say you stay with what you're doing, but videos I think are going to be your best bet. And you have a wonderful resource where you can have a video and just make it short on everything that you do. So show you going through, just ask somebody at the gym, be like, hey, can my wife record me going through something with you? And record it, and then put it in there that like we accept all major insurance companies. If you're tired of being in pain, something like that, you need to be able to package that, give it to people. And I think a video would serve you best. And I know you've done one before. I don't remember what it looks like. I know you've done one before though, and I think you need to push that out there. I think you need to get that out there.
Whatever, dude.
Well, you got her. You got like a professional video studio there working for you, so you can't hardly beat that.
So she's the bomb.com at recording and editing. So use that. I've seen. So there was a 100% chiropractic in Castle Rock that did a video that it was awesome. Like I was like, if I was a patient, I'd go there. And all it was somebody following the doctor through their office. Like they walk in and he's walking in with them. And then like, this is what we do. This is how we do it. We accept all insurance companies. And like, he'd walk in and then the camera was behind him as he was at the front desk. And then he'd walk away from it into the office. And it was just really cool the way that they did it. So I think you need to have a really cool video that's a minute and a half, if you can get it that short, just walking through what you do, how you do it, and that you accept insurance, and give people that kind of, I guess, doubt, get it away from their mind so that they know that you can help get them better. And you're not like a normal chiropractic office. And I would stress that, put that in there. Like it's not just a one size fits all. Everybody's different, and I'm going to treat you individually.
I could probably pull a Facebook Live off of that too.
Yeah.
Just get the patient's permission ahead of time and say, hey, we're going to do this, practice it a little bit, and then boom.
Gym around here that closed and then opened back.
Your Wi-Fi is going crazy, man.
Fucking internet.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you.
I don't have any.
Can't hear you.
Sounds like Captain Kangaroo.
Are you on Wi-Fi or is it direct?
Any better? Any better?
Yeah,
Get in
I hear
there.
that's better.
I just changed it from 2.4 to 5 gigs.
Oh, there you go.
There's a gym around here that they
Getting bad again.
Nah.
Can you pull it up on your phone? Just do it there. Join on your phone and then just do it there.
It's too much porn on that webcam there. I think it's just jamming it all up. Yeah.
Kind of sad nobody else joined. Where's all of our fans?
I don't know.
Probably drinking beer.
That sounds great.
They probably forgot, would be my guess.
Yeah, I didn't remember until I just happened to look at Facebook tonight, and I was like, "What events are going on near me?" And I was like, "Oh, you're going to this?" I was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm going to that."
So yeah, Justin, Kenya, all of them. We'll get them.
Yeah.
I'm recording this, but I'm really half tempted to not even post it because I feel like the last one that I did, nobody watched.
No, I don't know.
I'm
in the dark anyway. I just look like I'm whatever. I look like I'm in a closet.
Right?
Which I kind of am.
Are you at home, Scott?
No, I'm sitting on the deck here, 20 Mile Tap House.
Oh.
Still downloading shit.
What a hell of a sunset.
But yeah, Brady, I think you make a video, man. I think that would help out.
Yeah, like what you just said about that dude's office. If Brady did that, where you go through and you show rehab stuff and things that you're doing that are different, and hey, here's what our typical patients go through, and here's how we do it and what we do. Come see me. If you hadn't had results elsewhere, come see me.
And put a fun twist on it too. Like if somebody's just laying there, just come over, take your little jackhammer tool to them, be like, and that's how we do it, and then just keep walking through. Just make it fun, or have somebody holding it there, and then you come over to actually push the button to turn it on. Like, man. I don't know. I mean, that's just spitballing, but make it fun and make it, like you said, setting you apart from everybody else. And I think that would help out tremendously. And then again, have your wife do her Facebook skills on getting it out to people.
She just started up photography too.
So yeah, you can just say, hey, put some of your photography skills to use with us.
All right, let her put herself to good use.
Hey!
Whoa!
Turn one of them off, the sound. There you go.
There, I just left the
serious reverberation. Here, let me see if I can get a good backlight. Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh, there we go. I got all you now.
Yeah.
All right. Any better?
Yeah, much better.
Muy bueno.
So I went to a ribbon cutting for another gym, and when I was there, was talking. They were like, "Oh, hey, Brady's gonna come up talk," and I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know I was gonna do that." And I went up. It was just like, introduced myself, said I was happy to be there, whatever, and I was just like, just a little bit about my office, like I do, sports rehab and kind of combined with chiropractic, not just your traditional, rack 'em, crack 'em, send them on your way type of a thing. And after that after I had that little bit, I had like several people come up to me after the fact, and they're like, "Oh, wait, you do things a little bit differently, huh?" And I was, started a little bit of a conversation, just kind of changing the script of what I do and how I do things.
I think also you need to advertise, do the sports chiropractic, advertise towards them, and then also advertise. One of the things Glowacki does is, I need to look up the term that he uses, but he uses a term for like just the general workaday athlete. And one of his big kind of comparisons is that these professional athletes, they have months to prepare for what they have to do. The the person does not, and we have to do it for a lot longer. So if you look at a professional athlete, they work their butts off, but for what, maybe 10 years? And then they're set for life. We have to do it for 50 to 60 years. And then we start kind of getting after it. So like
He calls them corporate athletes.
Yeah. So you can target both of them. So you can have one that's like, we work on both professional athletes and the corporate athlete because everybody needs it. And you can, like I said, you can go into a little bit more detail with that too. So, I mean, that can be one of your Facebook Live posts right there is a corporate athlete. Like, I work on professional athletes, but I also work on the corporate athlete because, and like I said, Glowacki says that one of his things is the professional athlete has 6 months to train for the next 6 months of that year. And then they only have to do that for 5 to 10 years and they're set for life.
Right.
Whereas the general corporate athlete, they don't. They don't get any planned time. They have to just get into it, start working, and then as stuff comes up, they have to almost take their healthcare into an emergency type crisis, and then they make the emergency type decisions.
Right.
I used 2 pieces of that. One of them is when we're doing the initial consult in history. And, can you tell me, Nick, can you think of anything in your past maybe that may have caused this low back pain? No matter how minor it is, minor fender bender, sports impact injury, anything like that, fall out of a tree when you were a kid. And they're like, I don't know. Okay, well, tell me about a typical day at work, right? And they're like, well, I'm a computer programmer or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, so do you spend a lot of time seated or do you have a standing desk? Or, well, I sit a lot. Well, how many days did you say in a typical day are you seated? Well, I don't know, probably sit about 6 hours a day. How many years have you been doing that? I'm 15 years. So you've been sitting for 6 hours a day for 15 years. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, there's where your low back pain's coming from. And they're like, okay. And I said, now, and then when I do the report of findings, I've been using the analogy of, okay, Brady, here's what's going on with you. You're a grade 2. Now, just like we talked about the other day, the little old lady from Elizabeth is going to take the longest time to heal because everybody heals a little bit different. She's going to take the longest time to heal. If we get a professional athlete in here, even those guys are going to take 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 10. And the truth is, you're going to be somewhere in between. But what you told me yesterday was you've been sitting 6 hours a day for 15 years. So if you had to guess, how long would you think it's going to take to turn this thing around? And they go, a year?
A year? Yeah.
Like, well, it's not really going to take us that long. But let's talk a little bit about how this treatment plan is going to go. And then I go into you're a grade 2. Here's how long this should normally take for somebody. You're not the little old lady. You're not the professional athlete. You're probably going to be somewhere right around here. And then the whole wellness care thing, since you're doing this day in and day out, and you're probably not going to quit your job after you leave this office, I'd say wellness care is not a bad idea. And here's how we do that. And then just let them think through it. Give them to make a convincing argument, and then give them a minute to think through it. And as long as you're not pulling any punches and trying to make them do something they don't want to do, you'd be amazed how many people are just like, let's try that. I like the sound of that. That sounds good. Let's do that.
Austin,
for me,
go ahead.
For me, just in this last 2 months, just the number of people that have started to do the year thing, I'm just like, this is going to be a good year. Because basically I hit the recycle button about every 3 months. It's like they kind of fade away. I keep a few of them, not many, and then they're gone, and I'm trying to refill and refill and refill. And we did this before, so I've kind of been here before. And I remember my wife at the time going, I can't tell people they got to come in for a year. And I'm like, why not? We do it, you do it. Why can't you tell them that? And I said, it's not, you can tell them why you think it's important. Why do you do it? And so once we figured out how to say why we did it, and I'm like, just tell them and give them the chance. If they don't want to do it, they can still come in 3 months. Tell them they can do that if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And when they start committing to that year-long thing, holy shit. I bet it's a 4-fold increase. I bet it is. I bet it's, or at least a 3-fold increase. I bet that's what it turns out to be. Because you're not redoing the sales pitch, every 3 months. You're not trying to redo it all. And if you started off right on day one of why somebody might want to continue wellness care, then when I get to year 2 and say, hey, it's a little bit of a step down if you want to keep doing it the way you have been. And you can see it in their face. They'll be going, yeah, that sounds awesome. Great, let's sign up and do that. Or they're going to be going, okay, so it is a little bit less. And you're like, yeah, all right, I'm sensing you really don't want to do this at the same frequency you've been doing it. Why don't we try 4 weeks and just pay for it by the visit? It'll be $65 and I'll see you in 4 weeks. You can always come in sooner if you need to. And then just tell them, there's another one. Brady, if we schedule this out 4 weeks, that's awesome. But if sometime between now and then, if you start to feel kind of anything coming on, call the front desk, schedule, text, do something. But let's get you in sooner rather than later, because if you listen to your body when it whispers, you never have to hear it scream. And they're like, okay, that's a good idea. And I do a lot of people that way. They've been coming 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. They get up off the table and you're like, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And they're kind of like, you know what? I'll tell you what, let's try. Hang on. Get rid of my brother here. Now I got to see it. Okay. Just say, if they said they've been doing the 2 week thing and it's all been good, but that you're sensing that maybe they don't want to do that, then say, you know what? I'll tell you what, let's try 3 weeks. You can always come in sooner if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, okay, that sounds good. And then when they come in the next time, so it feels like you've been doing pretty good. How you doing today? They're like, I'm doing pretty good. Let's try 4 weeks, man. You can always come in sooner if you need to. And then I just keep pushing them out, because the more you push them away, the more likely they just come right back. Or they'll come back in 4 weeks or 5 weeks and say, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Let's try 6. And I just keep doing that. Because, if I look at how many patients have come and gone and come and gone and come and gone, and I'm like, hell, if I could keep 50% of those and they came every 2 months, I would be a lot busier than I am right now, because something that I'm doing is running them off. And so you got to think really, really, really long term. Like, yeah, I may not see that payment again for another 6 months, but in 6 months, I'm going to be glad when that $65 walks through the front door.
Yeah.
And just keep building that. And then just be easy to get along with and give patients what they want.
I need to send you. Have I sent you the Glowacki stuff, Brady?
No, maybe a long while back.
I just got. When was that? It was towards the middle to end of last year. If I haven't, I'll send it to you. Because one of the things I feel like that keeps coming up for you is scripting and procedures. We need to come up with both of those for you. And I know it's going to be different for you, but we need to be coming up with
we
that
still
stuff.
Figure out, have a baseline to kind of work off and build off of.
So I'll send you the Glowacki file that I have in Google Drive, so you can at least start looking through it. And a lot of what Scott has been saying is all in that, so you can start looking through that. But I know you got to get going, so I don't want to make you late for the whiff. But good chat, guys.
Yeah.
Man.
Looks like Scott's trying to pick up a girl.
Shit.
Right?
Well, they're looking at me like, yeah, I need that damn beer, and then nobody's coming over here. Punch somebody in the balls to get a drink around here.
Nice. But all right. I love you guys. We'll talk.
Thanks for the chat, dudes.
Ready? Yeah, good to see you, man.
You too. We should talk more.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it. We got another monthly in a month, I guess, right?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys.
We'll talk
Have a good night.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.